back at it again with another video. Can you believe it? Three in a row. Three in the same day. Maybe even four, who knows. Gotta make up for all the lost time I was not posting in 2 weeks. Maybe six, who knows. Anyways, in this video, this is going to be a very relatively quick one, meaning at least 10 minutes. No, hopefully less than that. Today, I would just like to show you, hold on, just gotta put that in the folder, how to structure a loop once you have the main melody. So let's go back into FL Studios. We have that Wonder Pad melody that we've been using as an example for the last few times up right now. But let's see, if I just, okay. I have right now what the end result would be if you were to structure this melody around a beat to make one full complete 32 bar loop. Now that is not a song yet, because a song is going to be anywhere from, I would say, at this tempo, probably 80 bars up, maybe 64 if you get like a really hard, really, one of those 1 minute songs. But we don't want that. So I would say 80 bars up. So this is literally just a loop that we're going to learn how to structure today. So first things first is obviously you're going to loop your loop to as long as you want your loop to be. Now I would say you want it to be one repeat of the loop and then two more, just so you have some cushioning for when the drums come in. The next thing you're gonna want to do is, if I actually just bring up what I already have as my finished product, is you're gonna want to go into your channel rack, and you're gonna want to create a. I always like to start off with my hi-hat and snare, clap, and rim patterns all as one. I've explained that before, why I like to do that, but I always like to do that. So for that reason, literally all I did for this hi-hat was just a simple 16-note fill every one step hi-hat, literally just by, using the fill each on the side here. For claps and snare, also very simple, because at this tempo just lands on 3. Added a little little syncopation that you hear in trap music. The snare and rim, I got a little creative. I added a extra snare hit that's syncopated, that clicks up with the rim hit, and you'll hear the reason why I did that in a sec. I'll mute this, and then I'll just play the pattern for you. It sounds like this. So I thought that sounded pretty good. And then with the hats, it's just... Ooh, the hats might be a little bit too loud. Let's go into the mixer. Go here. What are they at right now? Let's put it at 3.3. And we have a lot of effects on here right now. Let's put this at, what is that, 4.5. Let's put the compression at 9. We can also put this at 3.3, while I think about it. We'll do 3.6 actually. This is at 4, we'll do 3.9. Nope. Get that to, come on. 9, good. The send, we'll do 4.4 there. The limiter was at the max, and that's everything. Okay, cool. So let's try that again. Not as jarring, that sounds a little bit better. So anyways, next what you want to do is you probably want your 808 pattern because that's where you're going to get your kick from, as I've explained in earlier videos. You can do the kick to the 808, but that's a little bit tougher. So I'll go to 808. For the 808, I did a relatively simple pattern, just and this is literally just this 2-bar pattern copy, but then slightly manipulated. You know, instead of the quarter half note, it's half note quarter note with different notes. But it's pretty much the same thing if you look at it. And the original 2 bars is just dun dun. The only no, it's not even kind of complex. The only weird thing that stands out maybe is this non-syncopated half note here, but not really getting too complex for the and there generally is going to be one of those, but not getting too complex for the 808 pattern. Then all I did was copy that into the kick pattern, but again, not exactly. As I've said, I dislike that. I changed the kick pattern a little bit, so it's and one thing I will say is make sure you tune your kicks to the 808, as they are also technically a bass. I know Nick Mayer's famous saying is tune your 808s. I'm going to try to make mine tune your bass drums. You even might want to tune your snares and hi-hats depending. You don't necessarily have to. That's probably the least important thing to tune, but you can as well. Okay, so now that we have the layout of the drums, how are we going to lay them out? So you never, or personally, I don't think you want to lay out the hi-hats first, because the hi-hats is where the actual beat comes from. You know, it's the da-da-da-da. That's where the actual physical beat is coming from. So you want the least amount of that, which is going to come from the bass drum. So after 8 bars of the loop, sometimes you can let the loop go 16 and then just start right at 7 with the hi-hat, snare, and bass. But this loop isn't particularly, you know, exciting or anything, so I decided to add the bass drum at 8, and then the hi-hats, snare, clap, brim at 17, because then that gets the beat starting going, and then you always want to leave the 808 for last. Because think about it, how weird would it sound if I just had the bass drum, then the 808, and then the hats. So the actual beat is coming in super late when the actual beat should be a full 16 bars of the loop. So if I play that all for you, it sounds like this. I'm actually just going to skip up to 9. Or 13. Now, the one problem with this is you can't really hear that first pattern. I think the reason for that is I'm going too soft with this. I really just got to full send these. Let's see. Compression. That's good. Let's go to 3. Compression. That's good. Balance. That should be good. All of those should be good, actually. I looked over them. But compression, that's good. Oh, sorry, didn't mean to do that. Go back to that and that. Actually, we're going to make this 10.2. And we're going to make this 4.5. That should be good. We're going to make this 6. That should be good. Okay, now it should sound a little bit better. I would say, what can I do? I'm not turn this up too much, but maybe 16. Because I don't want to be too prevalent, but we're just gonna, like I did before, full send it. Let's see how it sounds now. Okay, I think that's good. It's still a little bit, drowned out, but I think that is good enough. So I'm gonna conclude it that. Oh, one thing I need to show you. What I did for the mix and mastering. So for the mastering, you have the current with the limiter, obviously. You have the master with the limiter and Edison, obviously, because we used Edison before. You have nothing in 1 or 2. Just a change in the mixer. That's it. Let's see. Actually, speaking of which, I'm gonna turn this down to like point. Let's do 0.6. That should help in the case of the other instruments. Anyways, next you have that was the other loop or the sample, so that's not important. Next you have 3, which if we go to the channel rack, let me do a little check, but that should be, yep, the hi-hats. So the hi-hat, I put compression on it, balance on it, a pan on it, a send on it, a limiter on it. So some of the things we haven't gone over, we've gone over limiters, we've gone over compression, balance. We know is just to boost the gain and change the balance to channel sides. Pan is to pan to the sides of the speakers, so like your headphones, so it could either go right or left. And then send is yet another volume controller, but it also has a dry level component, which I like. So that's pretty much it for that. 4 just had, or the snares, claps, and rims just had everything. The hi-hats did, but just a little bit less. And then on 5, we just had a limiter, compressor, another balance, and last but not least, just an EQ for the bass. That's all, because I need a little bit of EQ, but that's pretty much it. So yeah, that's pretty much everything for this on how to arrange a loop. Next, we'll go over how to arrange a entire full beat. So thank you for watching. That'll conclude the video. Wow, I thought this was going to be like one of the shortest videos yet. It was not. But thank you for watching, and be good people. Peace.